Hello, Agape and friends. Joe here with a follow-up video to this past weekend's message, where Pastor Dave had us look at the Holy Spirit in the life of Jesus, specifically in his conception, in his baptism, and in his temptation. At his conception, we saw the obedience of Jesus' mother, Mary, and she was conceived through the Holy Spirit. It reminds us that Jesus truly is both fully God and fully human. The other two events, Pastor Dave highlighted that Jesus is our prototype. He's our example. He's our model. And so when we look at his baptism and we see God, the Father, affirm him, saying, "This is my Son in whom I'm well pleased." That was an important moment for Jesus, not only because the Holy Spirit ascended on him, but also because his identity became clear in that moment. He was God's Son. He had a specific mission and ministry to accomplish. And Jesus, as our prototype, shows us that we too have been made sons and daughters of God, that we too have been welcomed into his family. It's such an important identity point that we must remember. We are loved by our Father, and he welcomes us as sons and daughters. The point that I want to spend a little bit more time on, though, is Jesus' temptation in the wilderness. Now, we read in Luke 4 that Jesus, filled with the Holy Spirit, was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. I don't know about you guys, but I find it really encouraging to consider Jesus being fully human, meaning he fully experienced the temptations, the trials, the struggles that we go through. He understands what it means to be human in this world. And yet, through the power of the Holy Spirit, remember, he relied on the Holy Spirit. He was able to be obedient. He was able to trust God, to say, "Not my will, but yours be done." And he did that time and time again. Remember, Jesus' temptation didn't just stop when he was in the wilderness. I'm sure he was continued throughout his ministry to take things into his own hands, to do things his own way. But time and time again, he relied on the Holy Spirit and he submitted to his Father. I also find it really encouraging that that same Holy Spirit that was in Jesus is in me and is in you. That same Holy Spirit is there for us to rely on, to lead us and guide us. I know for so many of us right now, we probably feel like we're going through some sort of trial or temptation. I know for me, this unique time has revealed some of my own junk and baggage and sin. And I think it's so important that we remember we have the Holy Spirit available to us for us to lean into for guidance, but also to lean into for transformation. That spirit that Jesus relied on to overcome temptation is available to us now to overcome temptation. So my hope, not only for myself, but for all of us this week, is that we could press into that as we face trials and temptations and struggles and hardships, that we would respond like Jesus responded, relying on the Holy Spirit, following his guiding, all while submitting to the Father's will. That's my prayer for us, and I hope you have a great week.